Their fleet surrounded Earth, but the sky opened with humanity's real weapons. Admiral Kethvar of the Zephyrian hegemony watched the blue marble hanging in space with cold satisfaction. Earth, the third planet of this unremarkable system, lay defenseless before his armada of 3,000 warships. The humans had been given 72 standard hours to surrender unconditionally. That deadline had expired 6 minutes ago. Admiral, his tactical officer reported, all human military installations have been catalogued. Their most advanced vessels appear to be primitive fusion-powered craft. No signs of quantum weaponry or dimensional shields. This will be a simple subjugation. Kethvar's four eyes narrowed as he studied the tactical display. The hegemony had conquered 47 species across the galaxy, each campaign a methodical exercise in overwhelming force. Humans would be number 48, a footnote in the Great Expansion. Begin the demonstration, he commanded. Target their largest population center first. The flagship's main cannon began charging, its crystalline core humming with enough energy to crack a moon. Around the fleet, similar weapons powered up, ready to turn Earth's cities to glass. Then something impossible happened. The space around Earth began to ripple like water. Kethvar felt his stomach drop as reality itself seemed to bend and twist. Warning klaxons screamed across his bridge as sensors detected massive gravitational anomalies appearing throughout the system. "Admiral," his science officer shrieked, his voice cracking. "The humans! They're opening spatial rifts." The first portal tore open just beyond Earth's moon, a gash in space-time large enough to swallow a battle cruiser. Through it emerged something that made Kethvar's blood freeze. It wasn't a ship, at least not like any ship he'd ever seen. It was a geometric impossibility, a structure that hurt to look at directly, its surfaces folding through dimensions that shouldn't exist. "What in the void is that?" Kethvar whispered. His answer came as more rifts split the fabric of space around his fleet. Dozens, then hundreds of impossible vessels poured through, each one defying the fundamental laws of physics the hegemony had spent millennia mastering. Some appeared to be made of crystallized time itself, their surfaces shifting between past and future states. Others looked like living mathematics, equations made manifest in three-dimensional space. The human response came not as radio communication, but as pure information downloaded directly into every Zephyrian brain simultaneously. The voice that spoke was calm, almost apologetic. "Greetings, Kethvar of the Zephyrian hegemony. I am Dr. Sarah Chen, speaking on behalf of humanity's Dimensional Research Collective. We had hoped it wouldn't come to this." Kethvar clutched his command chair as the impossible voice continued. "You see, Admiral, your species makes the same mistake that 47 others have made before you. You assume that the most dangerous civilizations are the ones with the biggest guns, the fastest ships, the strongest shields. But you're looking in entirely the wrong direction." Around his fleet, space continued to tear open. Through the rifts came structures that made Kethvar question his sanity. A ship that existed in 17 dimensions simultaneously. A battle station built from folded space-time, containing an entire pocket universe within its hull. Weapons that didn't fire projectiles but instead fired pure concept, the idea of destruction made real. Humanity's real weapon, Dr. Chen's voice explained, has never been our technology. It's been our imagination, our ability to look at the impossible and ask, what if? While your people perfected plasma cannons, we wondered if reality itself could be rewritten. While you built bigger engines, we asked why space and time had to be separate things at all. The tactical display showed Kethvar's worst nightmare, his 3,000 ships, the pride of the hegemony's military might, completely surrounded by vessels that operated on principles he couldn't even comprehend. Some of the human ships seemed to be moving backward through time. Others appeared to exist in multiple locations simultaneously. Every species we've encountered, Dr. Chen continued, follows the same technological path: faster engines, stronger armor, more destructive weapons. But humans, we're the species that invented fiction first and science second. We spent millennia imagining impossible things, then set about making them real. One of Kethvar's cruisers fired its main battery at the nearest human vessel. The energy beam struck its target and simply stopped. Not deflected or absorbed, but frozen in space like a photograph, its deadly light hanging motionless between the two ships. "We don't fight wars with physics," Dr. Chen said. "We fight them with metaphysics. We turned our greatest dreamers into our greatest scientists. Our weapons aren't built in factories. They're born in imagination and given form through mathematics." "You haven't discovered yet." Kaithavar tried to speak, to order retreat, but found his voice caught in his throat. Around him, his crew sat paralyzed as they witnessed impossible made manifest, a human ship that appeared to be constructed from pure music, its hull resonating with harmonic frequencies that made reality sing. Another vessel that looked like a child's drawing of a spaceship, complete with crayon-like rainbow trails, yet somehow radiated power that made his sensors scream warnings. "Your armada is impressive, Admiral," Dr. Chen said. 3,000 ships, each one representing the pinnacle of conventional military engineering. But you're fighting a species that turned science fiction into science fact. We are the children of writers who imagined faster-than-light travel before we invented the wheel. We are the descendants of dreamers who pictured robots and artificial intelligence while we still believed the Earth was flat. The space around Kaithavar's flagship began to shift. He watched in horror as his ship's hull became transparent, revealing the terrified faces of his crew to the void. Yet somehow they could still breathe. The laws of physics were being rewritten in real time. "We're going to send you home now," Dr. Chen announced. "Not because we can't destroy you. We've dreamed up 17 different ways to unmake your entire fleet without harming a single living being. We're sending you home because that's what the best humans do. We imagine better solutions." The rifts in space began to change. No longer gateways for impossible ships, but escape routes for the Zephyrian fleet. Kaithavar felt his vessel being gently pushed toward one of the portals, carried by forces that felt more like kindness than conquest. "Tell your hegemony," Dr. Chen's voice said as Earth grew distant behind them, "that humanity's greatest weapon was never our technology. It was our ability to dream of something better and then make it real. We've been practicing that skill for millennia." As Kaithavar's fleet emerged from the rifts near their home system, battered but unharmed, he realized the terrible truth. Humanity hadn't just defeated them. They had done so while showing mercy, demonstrating a power so complete that cruelty would have been redundant. In his final report to the Hegemony Council, Admiral Kaithavar would write only one recommendation: "Do not engage the humans. They fight with weapons we cannot comprehend, powered by an arsenal we never thought to build, their dreams." And across the galaxy, 47 conquered species began to hope that perhaps their liberators had finally arrived.